Talking a lot of ball today? How many people here coach the quarterbacks? Just about everybody. Outstanding. Great. Okay. My name is Jim Harbaugh. I'm the head football coach at the University of San Diego, right here in town. Been coaching for 1 year with the Toreros. 2 prior years before that, I coached for the Oakland Raiders. Did the quality control the first year, and that was awesome. The Raiders is kind of like a think tank of football under Al Davis. We sat in on the draft meetings, did all the computer drawings, broke down all the film, did all the grunt work. It was great. I mean, just loved it. Learned a lot of football. Bill Callahan was the head coach. We went to the Super Bowl our first year, so got a real taste of that. The second year, did the quality control again for the Raiders, and got to coach the quarterbacks. Didn't get to coach Rich Gannon. The offensive coordinator coached him, but next year kind of went in the tank. So I got to see a little bit of everything in my 2 years coaching with the Raiders. So I've been coaching for 3 years. Prior to that, I played in the National Football League for 15 years with the Chicago Bears, Indianapolis Colts, Baltimore Ravens, San Diego Chargers, and that was about it, I think. Maybe 1 year with the half a year with the Carolina Panthers for 8 games, but didn't get to play any games. So been playing quarterback since I was in the 3rd grade. Had a lot of good people to be around studying quarterback play. Professionally, Lindy Infante, I think is the best in the business. Got some teaching from Bill Walsh, which I really appreciated. Bo Schembechler at Michigan, and Mike Ditka in Chicago. Didn't exactly coach the quarterbacks. They're more into the running game, but Cam Cameron's another mentor of mine, who's the offensive coordinator with the San Diego Chargers. He was my quarterback coach when I was in college at Michigan. So trained under some really good people. What I want to talk about today, I want me to talk about throwing mechanics, developing the quarterback, the fundamentals. And I'll give you what I know. I'll give you all the drills that I have, if you find that beneficial. And also talk about what it's like, how to throw a football. And it's not the most coached thing. It's not the area that I concentrate on the most, is actual throwing mechanics. I think there's some basic things that you have to make sure that your quarterback is doing and not doing. But other than that, they all throw different. There's no one way to teach a guy how to throw a football. Everybody's got different mechanics. So you can overcoach throwing the football. And I think that's the thing to avoid. And I got a videotape here. It's from the movie. I can't remember the name of the movie. You guys will probably know it when you see it. But probably one of the better descriptions, one of the better coaching points, CPs that I've ever seen. So let me play that for you real quick. And if you can get down here and see this, I think you'll like this. Tell me if you know the movie.
Sandlot.
Sandlot. From the movie Sandlot.
Oh, I told you, Benny. I told you. Come on, Benny. Why'd you do that? It's square, Benny. It's a square. What the hell's he doing? I don't believe this. Here. Sorry.
Throw it,
No. I can't. I don't know how. Thanks for taking me here. But I think I better go.
You think too much. How'd you get straight A's and shit, huh?
No, I got a B once. Actually, it was an A-, but it should have been a B.
Man, this is baseball. You gotta stop thinking. Just have fun. I mean, if you were having fun, you would have caught that ball. You ever help a paper out?
I helped the guy once.
Okay. Well, chuck it like you would throw a paper. When your arm gets here, just let go. Just let go. Stay easy.
How do I catch it?
Just stand there and stick your glove.
All right, so there it is. Good coaching point, right? You get to here and you let it go. Here, take a paper, roll a paper up sometime. We've all had paper outs, right? Everybody here had a paper out? You're like my quarterbacks. None of them have ever had paper out. They don't know how to throw a paper. Roll up a paper, a newspaper. I had a paper out when I was a kid. You take the thing, and when you get it there, you release it. Try it when you're at home. Roll up a paper, put a rubber band around it, and throw it. That's basically throwing a football. You get it there, you let it go. Now, a couple more things. Grip. Let's talk about the grip. One of those fingers, that ring finger or the pinky finger, needs to find the laces. I put the ring finger there. Some guys will put the ring and the pinky finger. As long as one of them finds the laces, that's important. That's critical. Now the next thing is to hold it in the fingers. Doesn't get held in the palms. What happens to a baseball when somebody palms the ball? Slows down, right? Palm ball, change up. That's how you throw a change up. You want that thing in the fingers. Basically, when I hold a ball, only fingers and that part of the thumb right there, and the thumb are touching the ball. The rest of the palm is off the ball. So check your quarterback's grip. And the way to check it is to find light in between the ball and the hand. Just come back, just take a look at it. Hey, show me your grip. Okay? Check it. Okay. You're not holding it in the palm. Now, if you see that, there's no light in between the palm and the ball, then he's got a problem. Secondly, you got to be able to hold it light. Loose grip, loose arm. You want that thing loose. You want levers working when you're throwing a football. You want to create levers in the throwing motion. Bam. Holding the ball too tight. He starts to feel his forearm tensed up. He starts to feel the bicep or the tricep while he's holding the ball. He's holding the ball too tight. Loose, like holding a bird. Like holding a bird in your hand. Light grip creates light arm. Now, where do you throw it from? Where do you throw a ball from? Some guys teach it's here. You know, some guys it's. Where do you guys teach it at? Up here, up high? Elbow at the ear. That would create a pretty over-the-top throwing motion. That's acceptable. The thing you're looking for is not where he's throwing it or where the elbow is. You know, it doesn't have to be at the ear. It doesn't have to be anywhere but above the shoulder. As long as that elbow is above the shoulder, then you're in business. Anywhere from there to there, and anywhere in between. And everybody throws it different. No one way to throw a football that's right. The thing you want, though, is extension. You want full extension in the throwing motion. So you can achieve that up here, you know, right there, like Brett Favre would. Or you can achieve it out here, kind of like a David Rivers gets it. You know, as long as the elbow is above the shoulder, anywhere from there to there is full extension. Now, the elbow goes below the shoulder, you can't get full extension. It gets below the shoulder, you lose extension. So guys will say, get your elbow up. Get your elbow up. Keep the elbow up. Just get it up over the shoulder. I learned that from Bill Walsh. So Bill Walsh isn't. Not where it's at, it's that you get the extension. Now we got a guy, Todd Mortensen was our quarterback this year, and came from BYU. And his throwing motion was way over the top. I mean, elbow was, you know, right at the ear, and that thing got way up here, and he got extension. But the only flaw he had was he would take it and drop it, and then get it way up here, creating this big windmill throwing motion. So he'd be like, that was the motion. Boom. That takes a while to get out. You create that windmill, that's a long time for that ball. Once you see the receiver open, to get that thing out of your hand and into his hand, that takes some time. There's another one with dropping the ball, like from here and dropping it down, dropping it there. I mean, my deal was there, bam, bam. Now, Rich Gannon is a big dropper. He'll take the thing and it comes out there. So he was quick. His release was, he dropped it, but it was a quick release because he was so to the side. Gannon was like practically there sometimes, you know. But that thing was bam, bam. So that's the only thing about getting the thing way up here is that now if the guy's going bam, like there to there, then he's okay. Just watch the guy who's throwing the ball way over the top and also dropping it, because you get a big windmill type of effect. But now, how do you break a guy of that? How do you break Todd Mortensen of that windmill effect? It's tough, and I'm very slow to break it, you know. And he still isn't out of that because it's hard to change a guy's throwing motion. It's a very difficult thing. How do you tell a guy who's been throwing rocks and baseballs and footballs, you know, his entire life, to change and do this, and you try to explain it, show it, and it's just, they got to be able to do it and feel it, and you know, it's tough to change a guy because then he goes the other way. So I didn't tinker with him that much, other than just to videotape him and show him. And sometimes you don't in your own mind know that you think you're emulating somebody, you think you're doing what you've been taught and told, and you just got to see it on tape. You get a video camera and tape your guys. You know, get behind them, get in front of them. They go through their foot with their 3-step drop, throw to the right, 3-step drop, throw to the left, 5-step drop, throwing a curl, 5-step drop, throwing a curl, throwing a go route. And that's the best way to coach them, is when they can see it. And they can see what you're talking about. Boy, I didn't realize I did that. I didn't think I did that when I threw. And you just subtly try to change them that way, but they have got to change it themselves. You got to show them what to do. Say a bad habit. Say you got a bad habit. How many reps do you think it takes to get rid of a bad habit? Or something you've been habitually done to change it to something else? According to Jim Brogan, it takes 1,000 reps. It takes 1,000 reps to do it. Basketball guru Jim Brogan, and I agree with that. It takes a long time to get a guy out of a habit, something that he's been doing. So, I hope what you got out of that was the grip. Find a lace with either the ring finger or the pinky finger. Light grip. Show some light in between the hand and the ball. And then when it comes to the throwing motion, the most important thing is what? Extension. Extension and the elbow above the shoulder. They go together. As long as the elbow is above the shoulder, he can get extension. Elbow goes below the shoulder. He's not kicking it out with all the levers. Bam. Full extension. Okay. Now, the next thing I would say, another Bill Walsh thing, is in the drop. You know, how do you carry the ball when you're dropping and getting away from center? What's the most important thing? The way he described it is like you're running. When you run, you use your arms. You use your arms when you're running. Your arms help you when you run. So same thing when you drop. Your arms help you drop. You use your arms in your drop. So where do you carry the ball? This thing is, as long as it's not down here by the belt buckle, and somewhere around the numbers, or right in here between the numbers and the shoulders, that's the ideal place. So here, your arms can swing, help you get back. And they work just like you would if you were running. And that's a lot of it. That's a big part of it. Well, before you start, let me just jump in here. Before we start talking, get too far into how to throw a ball and how to drop and all the finer mechanics and details and drills and etc. What's important about playing quarterback? I mean, guys know how to throw. You get the guy that can throw the best, and you know he's probably going to be picked out to be the quarterback when he was in the 3rd or 4th grade. He's the guy who throws. You find that quarterback. But what are you looking for? What's the most important thing? The thing I tell my guys, you got. Yeah, that's good. I'll ask. Boys is huge. Huge. Leadership is big. Smarts. You guys, yeah, and you're on the mental part of the game, and it all ties into, to me, what the most important thing in playing the quarterback position is to take care of the ball. The first meeting you ever have with your quarterbacks should be the one and only thing you talk about. It could cover your whole first meeting. Your job is to take care of the football. Take care of the ball. Before you start talking about touchdown passes and mechanics and da-da-da-da-da-da, take care of the ball. Whether it's in the running game, from the center quarterback exchange, the ball cannot be on the ground. The ball can't be on the ground. It can't be fumbled in the snap, and it can't be fumbled when we're handing off. Okay, snap. I think the snap is huge. It's good to be able to know how to coach the snap. You know, to me, it's a lawnmower pulled by the center. He's pulling it up. He's not turning the ball sideways, coming back. He's just pulling it just like he was starting a lawnmower. Bam, bam, bam. And that will naturally turn the ball a quarter turn. That'll turn the ball a quarter turn, just like that. Now, center quarterback placement. Quarterback placement of his hands. He's a righty, and the center's a lefty, or the center's a right-hander too. Take that knuckle right there on your finger. That pointer finger should go squarely right in the middle of his asshole. Right in the middle of it. Find the asshole. That's where that knuckle goes. Right there. So it's offset to the right. Got a right-handed center. He's pulling it back a quarter turn. That ball's going to come up. He's holding the laces there. Quarter turns. Going to put the ball just like that. And that's how you want to get the ball. The meat of the hand on the meat of the ball. Right like that. So it comes up and it's there. Bam, bam, bam. Takes it and puts it on the laces. Now you're gonna have trouble. There's gonna be some drop balls. How do you fix that? It's pretty simple how to fix it. First of all, you get the center on the ground. He takes his position. Quarterback puts the knuckle of his finger in the center of the asshole. That's where he's got the ball. He's got pressure coming from the bottom hand. It's pressuring up the top hand. So he sets the top hand in and lets the center sit on it. So the center's got pressure. He knows where the hand is. The knuckle's in the center of the asshole. Okay, now the center brings the ball up. And you tell him to bring it up slow. He brings it up slow, and however he brings it up, then the quarterback just takes it, just slightly turns it to where he wants it. He wants it like that. He wants the feet of his hand and the meat of the ball. So you're under center, you're the quarterback. It came up kind of like that. It hit you here, or it hit you back here, or it hit you over to the side. And you just say, okay, lighten your grip center. Here's where I want the ball. Right like that. That's how I want it. Now the center still got his hand on the ball. He brings it down. Brings it up again. Quarterback slightly adjusted this time. Brings it back down. So now the center can feel exactly how the quarterback wants it in his hand. That's just a pretty good drill to get the center and the quarterback on the same exact page on how to take the snap. And that's critical, okay? As we all know. Getting the exchange from the center is so critical, and in every part of football, because the quarterback is so much more comfortable when he can just, and he doesn't want the hands way up in there buried, where it's like wrist deep underneath the center. He's got to get way up underneath there where he can't see up over the line of scrimmage, you know? So just that knuckle right on the asshole, right in the middle, just like that, where he can get in a stance where his weight can be slightly on the balls of his feet, a little air in between his heels. You can take a piece of paper and slide it under his heels, and he can see. A little arc in the back, so his eyes can be seeing things. Can be seeing linebackers, seeing secondary. And him knowing that he's going to get the ball right in that spot every time. He doesn't have to be fishing for it, or he doesn't have to look down to see it. It's a very hard thing to coach a quarterback not to look at the snap as it's coming up. Watch your quarterbacks when they're taking snaps. It's a hard thing to break them of, but you want them to be able to take the snap with their eyes here. And their natural reaction is to go. Right? Am I right on that? That's where they want to put their eyes when the ball's coming up. They want to find it. That's the thing you want to train them to do. Have the confidence to know that ball's coming up, hitting them in the meat of the hand, and they can keep their eyes here. Red 88! Red 88! Hut! The eyes are downfield, and you train them where to put your eyes after that. Okay, so critical. Next thing. Yes, sir.
Is it the same coach when you have a left-hand quarterback and a right-hand center?
It changes. It changes. I did a lot of research on that because we had a left-handed quarterback and a right-handed center. And I talked to a lot of people. Went back and talked to Jerry Hanlon at Michigan. Talked to my guy Les Miles. Talked to Cam Cameron. Talked to a lot of people. Now, here's the thing I found to be the best. You got the lefty quarterback and the right-handed center. Change the lefty quarterback to putting his right hand on top. Now, why is that? I mean, it's just you've trained the center, who's the right-handed center, to pull it up, lawnmower it up, quarter turn the ball, and now for the lefty quarterback to take it like that. Oh, it's in between the thumb now. You know, here it's coming up. Now you got the meat of the ball. For the lefty quarterback, the thumb's in the way. The thumb's there. So now you're okay. You don't like that. You don't want to train your right-hander. And all he's got to do, the lefty's got to do, to get the laces, is for the center to adjust so the laces come up to the bottom hand. So he takes it out like that. Okay. Your other option, if you got the righty center and the lefty quarterback, is for the center. So a full half turn the ball coming up. He's got a half turn it coming up. So now he can get some meat of the ball so he can get his hand on the meat of the ball. But for the righty, the quarter turn comes up and hits him like that. And he goes like that. For the lefty quarterback, with the same quarter turn, bam, the thumb's in the way. So the center would have to half turn it for him to have a chance to get the thumb out of the way. That's a great question. And I had to research that out myself last spring. Any other questions so far? Okay, so number one thing for a quarterback is to do what?
Protect the ball.
Protect the ball. Protect the ball. Your job as a quarterback is to make sure that every time we have an offensive possession, it ends in a kick. It ends with our kicking team. It either ends with a field goal or an extra point, a kickoff, or a punt. It's got to end in one. It's got to end in a kick. It can't end in a turnover. Can't end with the ball on the ground, an interception. Can't end that way. Can't end with them kicking because we threw a pick for a touchdown. It's got to end with our team kicking. That's a graphic way to tell him, hey, it's okay if you throw the ball away on third down. It's okay. Just don't give the other team the ball. Turnover margin, turnover ratio is the number one statistic that dictates wins or losses. It's the number one statistic by far. Once you go over +2 in the NFL, you lose 80% of the time. Zero margin, it's unbelievable. It's 50. There's no turnover margin. It's a 50-50 deal. Home and away, I mean, comes into play. It's practically 50% when there's no margin of difference in the turnover. So you got to teach them to protect the ball. On the handoffs, handing the ball off, you can coach it. It's your belt buckle. Take the ball, you seat it in your belt buckle. On all running plays, you seat the ball in your belt buckle. It goes from your belt. Stand up, coach. Make a pocket there. It goes from your belt to his belt. Your belt to his belt, and seat it with your eyes. Belt to belt, seat it with your eyes. Then you carry out your play fake. Just like a card dealer. Just like a Vegas card dealer, man. You're right here, you're dealing cards. You got deception, but it goes, but the bottom line, the number one thing is it goes from your belt. You see it go into his belt. It goes from your belt to his belt. Belt to belt. Seat it in there with your eyes. Put it in there with your eyes. That's huge. That's big. I had a big problem coming out of college and even like 2-3 years in the pros where I was up here and I go from here to here. Here to here. And there's elbows in the way. You know, when the ball comes from up here, there's elbows in the way to get it to there. It's got to come down, or it's got to come around, or you got to do something. When it goes from your belt to his belt, and you put it in there with your eyes, the chance of getting the ball on the ground decreases. All right, now let's talk about quarterback play. The most important thing with the quarterback. The down, for the down, every down. And this isn't just quarterback, but this is what you're looking for in your quarterback. The quarterback is the challenge player. He's the challenge player on every single possession, every single down. The quarterback is the challenge player because he's going to have his ball in his hands. He's got to do something with the ball. He's got to get it to somebody. He's got to make it throw. He's got to make a conversion. He is the challenge player. Every single down. His attitude, I must win. I must win. I must win. No matter what I'm doing. Oh God, we're in trouble. I think I busted it. I must win. I must win. Whatever I'm doing, if it's in practice, if it's in a game, I must win. I must beat you. I must win. I must find a way to win. I must win. If I'm throwing one-on-one, I must win. If it's third down, I must win. I teach these guys, no matter what drill you're in. Thanks, Coach. I'm sorry, take that out of my check. No matter what it is, if he's just dropping back and throwing on air, taking a 5-step drop and we're throwing a curl route to a receiver, he's got to visually imagine that it's 3rd and 6. It's 3rd and 6, I'm in a game. I simulate the snap, simulate the drop just like I would. I tell myself it's 3rd and 6. I must win. I must complete this ball. Don't ever let any quarterbacks throw routes on air or one-on-ones or anything like that, or practically even catch without them thinking that way. Cannot have a guy just take a ball, stare a receiver down, and act like he's just throwing the ball, you know? I must win. I got a picture, it's 3rd and 6, and I must win. I must beat somebody. Every single practice, every single play, whatever it takes, I must win. That's what you want. That's who you want your quarterback to be. That competitive guy who's so competitive that he's got to win at everything he does. That's your guy. That guy does these things too. He's a player who will accept being pushed. Player accepts being corrected and will adjust. He's got to be able to adjust. Quarterback has got to be a good enough athlete to adjust to how you coach him. Some guys aren't. They're just not good enough athletes to take coaching. You know, you got to find that guy that can learn, that can take it from the chalkboard and take it to the field. You got to accept being corrected. It's not personal. You're doing your job. He's got to know that. Players who practice with intensity and technique to improve performance. They got to know that technique, this is all a technique game. Football is a technique game at every single level. High school, college, pee-wee, pro, it's such a technique game. It's a technique game at the quarterback position. Every way that he drops, throwing motion is rhythm, it's repeated, it's a drop that's not just fast, but it's smooth, and it's repeated every single time. He's got to learn those techniques. However you're coaching him to do it, he's got to be able to repeat it. He's got to improve his technique and his performance. If he's not doing it right, he's not doing something well, and he's not improving, he's not doing what you ask him. It's like, bro, your way's not working. You got to change it. Your way's not working, you got to change it. You got to get him to do technique. I got that from Jim Brogan too. I'm not going to take credit for that one. That was a Jim Brogan. If you're not doing something right, change it. Okay, good. You want to see some drills? Some quarterback drills. Give you my best stuff. Yes. We're throwing to a receiver?
Well, just as he's dropping, like, some coaches,
Oh, this foot here?
the one in the front.
That one?
Yeah. Keep it in one line of scrimmage?
No.
No?
I really teach them to turn every throw into a straight throw. It's a throw at the receiver. Try to turn every throw into it. Now, where this toe points is at the receiver, or it's to the left of the receiver. So you get your hips through. So if I'm throwing at you, my toes pointed there, I got to come through my body. So every throw becomes a throw at you. And the thing you coach there is that the hip, the tit, and the shoulder go to the target. That all goes to the target. Hip, tit, and shoulder to the target. That's all I got to tell my guys. Hip, tit, and shoulder. They know what they're doing. They're going to bring it at the target. He should feel the sensation when he throws that he's coming off a pitcher's mound. He should feel like he's coming down off a pitcher's mound. He's throwing downhill. Everything is throwing downhill. If he's throwing here, or he's throwing with that foot already off the ground, or he's throwing back here and not getting the right side through, I feel like I'm throwing uphill. I feel like I'm throwing up in the stance, you know? But if I get it, then I feel like I'm throwing downhill. Another way to reinforce that, stand up, coach. So many times, like a quarterback, they're all like that. They all want to throw just with the arm. Just with the arm. No body comes through. Hit me. Don't hit me really though. Stop about right there. If you really want to if you really want to hit me, I can do it. Bam, load it up the back leg. See that? Load it up, but that punch came from right down there. It came from the leg, it came from the hip, it came from the tit, it came from the shoulder. Bam! You know what I'm saying? Bam! I don't want to hit it very hard. Then I just go with the arm, you know? Just reinforce it with him. Bam! You know, it's all coming. It's right down in here. It's there. And that foot naturally comes, just like a pitcher would, coming off of a mound. And when they're throwing together, and they're throwing just like 10, 15 yards apart, that's the time to really overemphasize. Hey, let's overemphasize hip, tit, and shoulder to the target. Left foot to the target. And if he's still not getting it, hey, left foot to the left of the target. So I can get the hips, I can get the the hip, the tit, the shoulder, bam, at the target. And overemphasize, even coming off of it, just like a pitcher would coming downhill off a pitcher's mouth. Good, that's a great question. Anything else as we're going here? Okay. All right. Now you can coach really hard to drop. That's the big thing to coach. Probably spent too much time here already coaching the throwing motion. But the drop you can coach the hell out of now. Objective, develop a constant rhythm, sense of timing, speed and quickness in the quarterback's drop. Proper balance, footwork is noted as well as release action. Technique, the quarterback will set up with a pre-assigned drop. 3, 5, 7. Quarterback should always be thinking of a play progression when you're coaching his drop. Throws will vary. Some will be to the number 1 receiver, some will be to the number 2 receiver, some to the number 3 receiver. Coach should observe from different vantage points to see footwork as well as release. Coach may also act as a key for the quarterback to simulate a defender. Say you're throwing a curl flat, you're the flat defender. You either take away the curl or you drop to the flat. Procedure, use 1 receiver to catch passes. Quarterbacks each have a ball, take turns throwing, practice drop. Use a snapper if available. Coach aligns himself to note feet, arm action, and release. So a couple examples here. Type of drop, 3-step drop. 1 big, 2 quick. That's why I would tell him to throw a slant. It's 1 big, 2 quick if you're throwing slants. 1 big, 2, 3, plant foot, you're throwing slants. 3-step drops are usually timing routes. They're timing drops. They're thrown with a plant. Plant step is without a hitch. That's a hitch. That's a plant. So, most of the time in your 3-step game, if you're throwing slants and flat routes, that's 1, 2, 3, 1 big, 2 quick. And that's how you got to talk to these guys, because every route really has its own drop. And that's where you want to get consistently them repeating the same drop. Okay, what other type of 3-step drops are there? There's 3-step hitch routes. 6-yard hitches on the outside. You know, it's again 1 to get away from the center, and then 2 quick. 1 big, the last 2 are your quickest steps, and the ball's coming out. Anything that's breaking out now, whether it's a 5-step timing route, 3-step timing route, those are the quickest you can take. Because you don't want anybody breaking on them. And those balls, so say you're throwing a quick out, 6-yard quick out, they're the 3 quickest you can take. Say you're throwing a 10-yard out cut, those are the 5 quickest steps you can take. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plant, throw. And you always miss where with the ball? On an outside breaking route. Outside, man. If you're going to miss it outside. If it misses inside, go back the other way. So, whatever routes you got in your 3-step game, and the 3-step game is critical because it can beat the blitz, it can get your quarterback a completion, it can get him on rhythm, he gets in a funk, he's like not hitting, he's not completing any passes. Back to the 3-step game. Let's get him a completion, let's get him back in rhythm. So practice the hell out of the 3-step game. It's critical. So whatever your 3-step drops are, you know, you're practicing his drops and you're telling him to play. You know, hey Dave, here we go. We're going double wing right, 200 jet dragon, X lion. Okay, so he's got a play in mind. You know, we're not just taking 3-step drops. He's taking a 3-step drop, knowing the play, saying the play, repeating the play. So in dragon or slants. So we're taking 1 big, 2 quick. We're repeating it. We're making sure now that the toe is going at the target, even if he's throwing to the left. Hips get open, I throw at, I'm just still throwing straight throws. And that's where you get to different vantage points and you check and you watch how he's throwing. So, I want to throw a slant route, 3-step drop. You stick a receiver out there where the slant would be, and he just catches. You just beat balls, you know, 10 balls, 15 balls, and you just watch his drop. Okay, so it's a drop drill. 5 steps. 1 big, 4 quick, I don't really have that one. I have 5 quicks. 5 quick to throw the out. They're the 5 quickest you can take. And then we have curls and flat routes. It'll be 3 big, 2 quick. 3 big, 2 quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last 2 steps are always the smallest steps. They're the ones that get you back on balance your back on your balance. I don't like the big third step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it's hard to get those last two small steps. So 3, when I say 3 big, they're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the reset. Okay? So timing routes are plant throws. If it's not a timing route, it's with a hitch.
Teaching the variations, and one of the things that we do with our quarterbacks is that it's not always going to be a set 5 steps. It's not going to be three big, 2 small when a guy comes off the edge and the receiver's ready.
Yeah.
So, do you teach variations in it?
Absolutely.
1, 2, 3, 1, and let it go. 1, 2, 2 big, let it go. Do you do any of those variations? Do you do any straight back?
No, I don't do any straight back pedal. Straight back pedal is okay as long as you're teaching it and practicing it. You're a straight back pedal because you read the coverage and you want to go left with a route, and you're teaching it and you're coaching it and he's practicing it. Great. You don't do it that way. Rich Gannon, when he was with the Raiders, he would throw a drag slant to the left every day in practice. Could be 1 big, 2 quick, plant, throw. We get into team sessions. 1, 2, 3, plant, throw. He'd get into games sometimes, and then all of a sudden this would come up. They thought they were coming quick, and he wanted to beat them, so he'd backpedal out. And he only did it in game situation. His interception rate was like 45% when he backed out. It was unbelievable. Bill Callahan made me go do the study. What's he do when he's backpedaling out? He would only do it in like certain blitz situations, but he only did it like 6 times in the season or whatever, but he had like 3 picks. Did it 8 times and had 3 interceptions or something like that. As long as you're practicing it, teaching it, there's a reason why he's doing it, then that's fine. But I'm always right there. I never was a big backpedal guy. Now, variations in a drop, in a 3-step drop. There's no variation to make it quicker. There's no variation to make the 3-step drop quicker to me, unless you're doing a 1-step drop. Now you're in a different drop. So if you're keying, you're just running the 1-step hitch route, then yeah, that's a 1-step drop. Or you're throwing the bubble screen, that's a 1-step drop, and it's practice. But you never turn a 3-step drop into a 1-step drop.
We have variations on the spot because a lot of times we don't have time to wait for him, depending on what kind of line blocking you got. You don't have time to wait for them to get to 12 before they jump. So what we do is we see the various steps, and we take off, and you're supposed to take 3 big and small.
Uh-huh.
You stop at any point in front of the receiver, you have to stop and then let it go. Because that's how it works. The guy misses the block and he comes through. You don't have time to go 3 big and small.
And the receiver knows that, and he's running a certain depth because he knows that the quarterback's somebody's going to miss a block.
Guy covering him, slides to the back, guy covering him, lifts it off the slot.
Uh-huh. That's a side adjustment.
Right.
Now you're into a whole different deal.
Right.
You're into a side adjustment.
That's what the side adjustment is when we do our variations on the slot.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if I got a 5-step drop or I got a 7-step drop, and I know that there's a Sam backer that's unaccounted for, and he comes, then it becomes a 3-step drop. I'm either throwing a hitch, throwing a slant, whatever your side adjustment is, that would be a variation on the drop. But there's no variation other than, God, somebody came free out. I had to escape, or I had to get a quick answer, throw. Yeah, then you'd have a variation. But there is the variation on a 3-step drop. Is sometimes you got to hold the ball without taking a reset, and you still want to make it a plant throw. Say you're throwing a slant. You're throwing a slant route. You're throwing cover versus cover 3. You're reading the flat defender. You got slant and you got shoot. It's 1, 2, 3 plant throw. 2 things can happen. It could be a second window throw where he comes open in the second window, or he could be getting pressed, and that throws off the timing. So if you're in a 3-step timing throw versus press, or it becomes a second window throw, in other words, the hole is in the second window, 1, 2, 3, plant, sink, sit, sink, explode. That would be a variation to me on holding the ball on a 3-step timing route.
That's one of our variations.
Good, good. I mean, that's sophisticated stuff. That's really good. It's really good if you can get that coached up. And even on, like, here's another variation. You're throwing 10-yard speed outs, and our team blocks them on versus press. The out route stays on versus press. The thing I tell the quarterbacks is, now instead of taking a five-step plant throw, it becomes a 5-step pitch throw because the timing aspect has changed because he's being bumped at the line of scrimmage. But no, that's good. Anything else? Do I care about depth in drops? I care if it's too deep. You know, I care if they're not getting away from the center on a 3-step drop. But other than that, I'm coaching steps. You know, 5 quickest. Gosh, you shouldn't even get the 5 yards. You know, if you're throwing a speed out, it should be. I mean, it's the 5 quickest you can take. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants. Don't even get the 5. You know, it's the 5 quickest you can take, no matter how deep you get. Yeah, you can be too deep. You know, you can take a 7-step drop that's too deep. But no, don't coach the hell out of them. You got to get to 7.5 yards on a 5-step drop. A 7-step drop, you got to be at 9.5 yards. No, don't coach that. Coach 7-step drops to be either they're extending their drop with 3 big, 4 quick, you know, or it's the 7 quickest you can take to throw drive routes and timing, because there are some 7-step timing routes. But no, don't get into depth. Sprint out. That's a good question. Play action to the left. Yeah. Sprint up to the left. Okay. Yeah. I basically just run around. I run around the top of the drop. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just move the feet, as opposed to getting to here and the big turn. Try to keep a little momentum in the top of the drop. Like that. Now for play action passing to the left, for a right-handed quarterback, I don't teach the turn that way. I teach the turn back to call it a drive-through fake. So it becomes a drive-through fake, just like so if I'm running ISO to the left, and I'm opening to the hole. Here, I'm belt to belt, hand off, and my fake is here, or it's back, or it's on a bootleg. Same thing if I'm throwing. Same thing if we're throwing. Play action to the left. I'd rather throw play action to the right. If you want to throw play action to the left, I'm always turning. I'm trying to get turned back to that natural throwing motion. So it's there. And I just think it's a lot more effective than just taking all the momentum away from it. It's just hard to get restarted. It's hard to get them pushing back up into the pocket that way, to me. Yeah, well, an out and up or hitch and go or whatever. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3 because you want to show the 3-step drop because the corners are going to bite. They're told to read the 3-step drop. So it's a reset. It's a 1, 2, 3, just the shoulders. Just the shoulders. It doesn't have to be with the ball. 1, 2, 3, shoulders. And then it's a reset. It's a reset like that to get yourself some depth. Because it's tough to, it's not a timing throw. You can't go 1, 2, 3. You have to get a reset for rhythm. 1, 2, 3, bam, reset, throw. And that just jumps you back instead of getting you up into the line.
Reset. Take the one big ball whether you're going to the right or the left. Same motion all the time.
Yeah, that's a slant. Anything breaking out is quick. 3 quickest you can take. Now, the other three-step drop that coach is the stick route, where the West Coast terms it's a stick route, where the tight end's up to 6, plant is coming out softening versus zone, and he's breaking versus man. Now, that's a big 3. It's a bigger 3 with a plant. So it's a relaxed, it's a rhythm 3. So 1, 2, 3, plant, throw. And now you're getting some depth. Because it's not, the timing's not there like it is on a slant route. And the timing's not there like it is on a quick out. So it's like almost every freaking play you have, you got to coach the drop. How do you want the drop to be? And coach it that way every time. Anything breaking out, and it's a timing throw, got to be quick man quick. You know, you want them getting deep into the pocket to throw downfield. You know, then you're stretching your 7-step drop. You're stretching the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hitch, climb the pocket. If it's 7 steps, and you're throwing a drive route, and it's timing, then it's 7 pretty quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How do you want him to do it, you know? You got to decide that, but coach it so he does it the same way every time. That's the plan. But yeah, there's different depths on 3 steps, there's different depths on 5 steps, there's different ways to drop on 7-step drop.
I mean, you never cross over your right, crossing onto your right.
Oh, you mean this kind of thing? No, because I don't want to get into the tackle. The way to build, the way I teach the throw to the left, this is good stuff. This is really good stuff we're talking about. You want to throw left, you got to get the hips open to the left and ready to throw to the left. So the first mistake they'll make when they're throwing to the left is they'll go like this. 1, 2, 3, and then they'll turn and throw it like that. Which is a problem because you're 1, 2, 3. Now your shoulder's got to come all the way through here, and sometimes the leg, toes pointed. You know, you want that toe to get all the way back to there. So you got a problem. You got a lot of variables, a lot of things can happen going all that way. You know? So left, I'm throwing drag, I'm throwing dragging, I'm throwing slant and shoot to the left. I better get my fucking eyes over there. I better see what's going on over there, you know what I'm saying? I mean, don't teach them to look off those kind of routes. Don't say, hey, you better keep your eyes on the free safety, 1, 2, 3, plant, and expect him to hit a plant throw and then see a flat defender. Tell him where to put his eyes. I got slant and I got shoot to the left. I'll take 1 step with my striping my helmet down the middle, and then the next 2, I'm looking. I'm seeing what that flat defender is going to do. So first you get your eyes there to the left. If you're throwing to the left, get your eyes there. See what that flat defender is doing. Now get your hips ready to make that throw. Open them up. Open them up. Now I can throw just like it's a straight throw. Feel me? As opposed to, woo! Now he doesn't see what's going over there. He doesn't see what's been happening. Now he's got to move his eyes and his whole body over. That's a lot of stuff that can go wrong there. So throwing to the left, you really got to teach them on where to put their eyes. You know, when we teach dragging, just straight slants and shoots, it's a coverage read. It's coverage read. Safety roll. I want to work away from the strong safety because I think the Will backer is not a good athlete as the strong safety is. So even though it's balanced pretty much, I'll still work away from the strong safety because he's a better flat defender. So as soon as I see him go that way, whoo, my eyes are there, seeing what's going on with that flat defender, with that Will backer. He takes the shoot, his hips go like that, I'm throwing the slant off his ear. He backs up into the slant, the ball goes out to the shoot.
So on most 3-step throws, would be a 2-step read. You don't have to look off the 3-step throws.
No, not looking off any 3-step throws. You got there's somebody that you're like stick. You're throwing stick route with a shoot, stick and a flat, whatever you call it. You know, there's a backer that's going to attach to the stick, and there's a flat defender. If the shoot outflanks the flat defender, 1, 2, 3, give it to him. If he doesn't, then I back into the stick. Now, if it's not there when I'm ready to throw, then I reset to over the ball. But yeah, the progression, when you're teaching progression, I think we're getting into that a little later tonight, but when you're teaching progression, it's the eyes and the feet to tell you when to move from number 1 to number 2 to number 3. You know, you got a throwing lane. You know, if it's I'll give you we've been talking about square outs, usually a middle read of some kind, versus cover 2, they're going post, versus cover 3, they're running a 14-yard basic, and you got 2 backs, call them running stop routes. So it's 5 quickest you can take to throw to your best look side, whatever out you want to throw, away from coverage, or to the shorter throw, or to the better receiver, or to the worst corner, the best look side you're going to, say it's to my left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I go to the plant, it's there, I throw it. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's not there, first hitch is to the basic, or the middle read, second hitch is to the stop. And your feet will tell you when to get off of that guy, and your eyes will tell you when to get off of him. So I go back to throw the out route, it's not there, I've already hit my hitch, I hitch, now I throw it, it's not there, then I hitch again to number 3. Sometimes you're hitching the number 1, and you're hitching the number 2, and your third hitch is to number 3. But if you can coach your guys to tie in footwork and hitches into the progression, all they got to do is be able to count to 3, and they can play. It's a 1, 2, 3 read. 1, there, throw it. 1, not there. 2, throw it if he's there. If he's not, 1, he's not there. 2, he's not there. 3, I got my check down. And if you can teach progression that way, teach him, hey bud, if you can count to 3, you can play my system, and you got a pretty good passing system. You know, because you're telling him, his feet are telling him when to move to number 2 and when to move to number 3. And you got a passing system where your quarterback is going back, waiting for the guy to come open. You know, there's a lot of bad stuff that's going to happen. It's good stuff.
What are our quarterbacks do consistently with the slant? What are some of the key points that you point out when you teach your quarterbacks to consistently?
Consistently throw the slant? Well, number 1 is to get the receiver to do exactly what you want him to do every single time. That's big. Now, there's 2 ways to run the slant are, you know, outside foot back, and the ball's in there. 1, 2, 3, slant at a 45-degree angle, or preferably flatter. You know, even the flatter the better. So it's 1, 2, 3, slant. I'm coming in. I can almost see some numbers. You know, if my guy's running it right, I can almost see some of his numbers. So as a quarterback, I know to throw that ball 1 foot in front of the upfield number. That's where you want slants hit. Bam, and he can take it and run. Okay. Most guys will run slants 1, 2, 3 vertical, and now corners start to undercut them, and that's a problem. So I like flatter the better. I like running through some of those zone windows. If you're coming flat, there's the first window, there's a backer, there's the second window. So consistency in the receiver's routes, number 1. Now, at USD, I teach them inside foot back, and a 4-step slant. Because I want to drive them and get them off their grass. I want them driven upfield. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's the slant, and I'm coming at that flat angle. Does that make sense? You know, whether they're teaching a 3-step slant or a 4-step slant, let's get the receivers really consistent first. And then it goes back to the quarterback's drop. You know, 1, 2, 3, plant throw, or if it's a second window throw, or he's bumped, 1, 2, 3, sit, sink, explode.
Do you keep that consistent on all the time that your outside receivers have their outside foot out, or do you change that around?
Change it all around. It's only on slants I tell them to put their inside foot back, and they'll put their inside foot back. They can change it. They can do it however they want to do it. You know, and they'll change it up. Sometimes they're getting bumped. You know, because they want to take the 2 steps. You know, however they're comfortable. You know, they're varying that and changing that. But on slants, it's inside foot back with a 4-step slant. Good. What about sprint out? Man, as far as coaching sprint out, you know, it's really I coach the steps on the sprint out too. So if we're throwing one of our favorite routes, sprint right option in the West Coast system, you know, which is curl, 2-step out. You know, you count the steps again. So it's come out, 45-degree angle. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to throw the quick out. 6, 7 to throw the curl. We're counting steps all the time. You know, trying to make it as uniform and repeating as you can. Is that enough? Or are you looking for something else on sprint out? Shoulders toward the target and all that? Okay. Good. I got a drill for that. Different ways to throw sprint out to get develop the quarterback's passing technique while sprinting out and scrambling out of the pocket. QB is taught to attack his target. This means whenever possible, run towards the receiver to avoid throwing across his body. Carry the ball high with the eyes upfield. Coach knows quarterback throwing out the proper foot. So always the proper foot is the right foot. It's the right foot. Let's get the right foot in the ground to throw on the run. And that's big. You know, shoulders at the target are big. Getting that right foot in the ground before you throw on the run is huge. I've seen some pro guys. Who's that coach? T. Martin. He would throw like that. You know, the left foot was the last one to leave the ground. It's always the right foot. Stick that right foot in the ground when throwing on the run. Okay, so just a little drill, probably seen it. One ball is used with 2 lines, QB facing each other. The ball starts on one side, QB throws to the other QB in front of the other line, follows his pass and lines up behind the other. Fun drill for the quarterbacks, get their legs loosened up, pre-practice, off-season when you're throwing. And then you add a little sprint out variation to the right. So you're in the middle of the field, sprint out there toward the hash. There's the quarterback on that hash. Throw it to him, he catches it, takes it, sprints out to the other. You just keep the line moving around. Any other questions there? You like that drill? Anybody do that one? Not really revolutionary. Huh? Good. Not a revolutionary drill. I'll give you one. I'll give you an out-of-the-pocket drill that is pretty good, though. May not have seen. Some drop down beneath the overhead.
There's a bunch over on the side, underneath.
You can see one of those says Ken Cody. Well, I can tell it's a pretty sophisticated crowd when it comes to quarterback drills. This is an anticipation drill. Develop the quarterback's ability to throw to the receiver that he anticipates is coming open. So let's anticipate a guy coming open. Technique, QB learns to throw to the receiver before the receiver is open. Hitting the intended receiver in stride by releasing the ball while the quarterback vision is blocked by a screen. The quarterback takes appropriate drop in a specific play. Towards the end of his drop, the receiver runs from right to left or left to right behind the screen that blocks the quarterback's vision. Example, 2-jet flanker drive. It's a simple drive route. So, we can throw here. You can throw her. Okay. So on the receiver, it's good for the receivers too, because they learn that basically a drive route is a 6-yard route that's crossing the formation, coming out the other end. You got defensive linemen, sometimes you got linebackers that are dropping, but a quarterback's got to realize linebackers' hips and depth are like this. Receiver's running behind him. That when he gets behind him, he's open. He's not open way out here. You don't have to wait till way out here because there's somebody else out there. So you want to hit him. You want the ball to play right there. So there's where he's open. Hips like this, receiver's open right here. So here's the drill. No, don't throw it yet. So receiver's running, quarterback's taking his drop. It's a 7-step drop or a 5-step drop. Go, he starts dropping. And you want to see that quarterback hit the receiver close to that target as possible. Okay? All right. So quarterback's dropping. Hup, here we go.
Hey, what happened to your hands?
That was a good ball. That was a good ball. You got the idea that you come from the other side. Good drill for receivers too. Anybody ever use that one? Yeah? It's a good one. Anybody use that drill? You know, I've made them. I've made them to like, you know, and she wanted about that kind, about that length. So it's about just a 6-foot freeze. Yeah, you just want it to be above the receivers' heads, you know, so you know it's pretty much to the ground where they can't see the legs. You know, it's just a screen. Sometimes I've used dummies before. Just put up, you know, like 5 dummies before I had a screen made. Well, you know, just some PV pipe with you know, a little elastic and just made a screen. You know, whatever you want to. Oh, there's a good screen right there. You know, a lacrosse. You ever seen those lacrosse nets? Just dump a tarp over one of those, and you got a nice screen. You got some of those high dummies. You know, you got some of those. I've also used before. I was at the Raiders. I used one of those lifts that goes up for the film. Had them run behind the lift. You know, that was good. Just something that blocks off. You know, that simulates a linebacker. You know, and a guy coming from behind him and getting a quarterback to be able to anticipate when he's going to come open and leading the guy open. Now the next phase of that is this. You take the quarterback back, drop him at 5. Now there's no timing to it. But you stand the receiver here. When the coach is back here and says, go, he just pops out. He just pops out. So now the quarterback's got to be there. Bam! As soon as he sees him. Doesn't know what side he's coming out. But for the time he sees him open, the time he can get the ball to him is big. That's quick. Okay? Got my Ken Cody drill? Thanks. Find the quick release drill next. Great. Here's the Ken Cody drill. Talking about out of the pocket decision making. You want to teach a quarterback to never take a sack, never throw an interception when he's out of the pocket. You can always throw it away, and he can always throw it away. So he doesn't have to take a sack, and he doesn't have to throw an interception when he's out of the pocket. Develop the QB's decision-making process while out of the pocket. QB learns to throw upfield, throw the ball away, or run with the ball. One of those 3 things. 2 receivers are placed on the field, one near the sideline about 10 yards. The other at the first down marker is placed on the sideline. The wide receiver will take turns popping their hands up, indicating if they want the ball thrown to them. If neither receiver pops his hands up, the QB will run with the ball and make the first down. If the rusher cuts him off, the QB will throw the ball away to avoid the sack procedure. After a 5-step drop, the QB escapes toward the wide receivers. If one pops his hands open, the QB throws it to him. If no one is open, the QB tucks the ball away and runs for the first down. If the QB feels he cannot make it, if he's pulled up, then he's got to throw the ball away. So you get if you have a rusher, that's great. Or if you just tell him to, you know, go through you move him in the pocket, then you get him out of the pocket. That's another way to do it with a coach there. Then you need a rusher here and 2 receivers. So these guys are placed over here about 10, 15 yards, 10, 15 yards. As the quarterback gets out of the pocket, you point to one of them, say hands up, and the QB's out of the pocket, his hands go up. Now if you say no, keep your hands down, and the quarterback knows he's got to scramble with the ball or he's got to throw the ball away. Okay, so if you need somebody here to either let the quarterback get outside of you, stay on the run, or you pull him up, get in his way, so he's got to throw the ball away. Everybody understand that? Okay, so how it goes is, I got a receiver there, and I got a receiver in the green shirt. Okay, let's say hands are up when I get out. So the quarterback drops back. You move him in the pocket, then you tell him to escape. He escapes. So if I get outside the rusher, I stay on the move until I'm pulled up. I see the hands go up. and they're throwing the ball. Okay, now the coach is the rusher. So you get him around, you move him in the pocket, you say escape. Now he pulls me up, the receiver's hands are down, I gotta throw the ball out of bounds. Now I come out of the pocket, I get around the coach, he lets me outside, receiver's hands are down, nobody's pulling me up, I stay on the run, see the first down, I attack the first down marker, and I get out of bounds. Good drill. Mike Holmes drill.
On a flush out situation, back to the ball, who goes deep, depending on where they're at, or
Yeah, I mean it's if you institute a scramble drill, you know, then you have whatever your scramble drill is, whatever you teach. You know, it's like if you're an up receiver on the sideline, the quarterback's coming to you, you're 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, you want to take it deep. If you're on the backside of a route and the quarterback scrambles away from you, you mirror the quarterback. So now you get somebody going deep, you get somebody mirroring the quarterback, and if you're deep, then you come back to the quarterback. And it's a scramble drill. Has anybody got that? Anybody got a scramble drill? Good thing to coach, good thing to teach. Definitely in the red zone, have a scramble drill. Red zone scrambles are huge. More plays are made in the red zone off the scramble than any other. You got to have a red zone scramble drill. So anyway, quarterback's coming to you, you're short, you go deep. If you're deep, you come back. If you're on the backside, you mirror the quarterback. Whatever your route is, and you just practice that. Flush the quarterback out one way or the other. Okay? Any other questions on the Ken Cody drill? Anybody like that? You want to see how it works? You a quarterback volunteer? You want to be a quarterback volunteer? He's a quarterback? Okay. So you go 5-step. Escape that way, you can do it like half speed. The guy in the green shirt's a receiver. And who's my other receiver? Right there? Okay, here we go. Okay. Take 5 steps. Step up. Right. Get out. Go away.
Broke another one.
You're not pulled up unless you're pulled up. If you do get pulled up, there's nobody open downfield, the ball's got to go out of bounds. Okay, let's try her again. Step up. Get out. If he gets outside of me, you're not pulled up, you stay on the move, so you see somebody open, or you get to the first down. Put a cone out there where the first down is, and he is running for the first down and getting out of bounds. You like it or not? You like that one? No, usually it's where the first, yeah, you got to know in his mind where the line of scrimmage is. They should get to the point where they only have to ever look for the line of scrimmage, they just know it and feel it. Real good ones, I mean, they just always know where the line of scrimmage is. They never go over it though. They're throwing, you know? You just know where it's at. You just try to ingrain in them that they know where the line of scrimmage is. Like Favre, he's the best. He's the best at everything. Find that one? Now the quick release. Can you see that one? Okay. I got one more pretty cool drill for you here. Get a little two-hand on the ball drill. You line your quarterbacks in a line here with bags. Quarterback drop just like you do your running back through the chute. You're grabbing at the ball. It's a good drill to do with your quarterbacks too. So you set them on a 5-step drop. You got your other quarterbacks back here with bags. And he goes through the gauntlet. You're grabbing at the ball, hitting the ball. And then it comes back up into the pocket where he's climbing the pocket. They're trying to hit the ball out of his hands. Teach him to keep 2 hands on the ball. I said. Drill. Objective, develop the quarterback's mechanics regarding his hands, head and feet, and faking a run play. Then drop him back to the appropriate depth. Technique. There's 3 different techniques to be taught. A ball fake, a jab fake, and a hand fake. 3 different ways to fake a ball. My preference, the number 1 way I like to fake is a jab fake. It's just a jab. 2 hands on the ball, find the laces, and just a jab. I get as close to his pass as I can without hitting him. Just jab it in there. Barely brush by him. I think that's the most consistent way. Whether you're faking to the left, you're faking to the right, or you're faking a bootleg, jab fake. Other ways to fake the ball. Ball fake. Where the ball goes in the pouch, comes out, and the hand rides. It's a good fake. Teach the quarterback, lick the back of the hand, wipe the spit off the back of the hand with the jersey of the back. So it goes in, wipes off, and then you go, and then the hand trails. Third way to do it is just a hand fake. The ball gets seated into the belly, and you cross fake it. That. Not a big proponent of it because I never like to take the hand off the ball going to the left. So to me, it's always good. If you're always a jab faker in any kind of play action, you'll be in good shape. The other one, sometimes on the bootleg fake, you get a guy that's good at it. A one-handed fake can be effective. Because you don't have to take the hand off the ball. So now you can. To a backside rush defender, you can fake, pull it back, and he doesn't know if you have the ball, if you keep your backside arm in. So basically and the key is when you're handing off, the biggest thing is when you're handing, if you want to help your play action game, is when you're actually handing a ball off, keep the backside arm from coming free. So if you guys are all defenders, and I go and I hand off, and I give, there's no ball there. Every defender on the field knows they don't have the ball because you can see both my hands. If I can fake, keep the left elbow tucked in, where you can't see if I got the ball or not, tucked in, now I hand off, he doesn't know that I don't have the ball in the left hand. And if you can't get him to do it, tell him, grab the jersey. Grab the jersey, keep the left elbow tucked in. And that's a big plus in your running game. You can not show the backside defender that you don't have the ball. Tuck, grab jersey, hand off. Now you bootleg fake, he doesn't see it. You can show him that you don't have the ball. Okay, then we got 5 minutes. So if there's any questions.
Doesn't the run series dictate how you handle the ball fake? You're not going to jab if you run a stretch.
Like the zone, yeah. If you're a zone team and you got to run 98 stretch or 98 zone, then yes, the ball has got to go now out. Now out. If you got a bootleg off of that, then the one-handed fake. The one-handed fake in bootlegs, like I just said, is effective. Now, if you're running the inside zone, you can still jab fake and run the naked. But if you do have a naked off your wide zone play, then that's good. I mean, that's a hell of a. You got a pretty good quarterback that can come that flat down the line, get that wide, and then bootleg fake from there. But it is. I mean, nobody does it better than Peyton Manning. That's he's Steve DeBerg, the way he used to do it. Crotch down, a good crotch fake. I mean, that's great stuff. If you got a guy that can do it and you can teach that, that's good. I think, for me, the most consistent way is to jab, get close to his pads, and you accomplish what you want to accomplish. When you're running a bootleg, where do you hold the ball? Oh, after you fake? I mean, you get it into your throwing hand right now. You jab fake it. Now you got the thing right in the throwing hand. You know. So that's a good thing about jab faking is you can place the ball how you want to throw it. So it's there. It's a jab fake. And then where you place it when you after you bootleg. Yeah. No. I put it here. And now I can get my eyes around because there might be a defender that's coming at me. So rather than spend too much time with the fake there, get the eyes around, somebody might be coming at you. Now the whole coaching on the bootleg is, once you fake, you made that turn, you don't pull up until you're pulled up. Don't stop to throw back until you are pulled up. You're trying to outflank the defense. And the whole read is flat to over, back to flat. In most bootlegs that you run, you got a flat runner, you got an over runner, and your flat runner is numbered. Before you run with the ball, you go back to the flat because they come open. So you go here, my eyes are on the flat, he's open, I give it to him, he's not open, I go to the over, he's covered, I go back to the flat because that defender will have left that flat runner. If he hasn't, then you're number 3 and you run with the football. Now if you're pulled up on a bootleg, and you're not, so you get here, now there's somebody there, you gotta keep giving depth, and you might be able to make a flat throw by finishing with your arm. And if you can't, then you keep giving depth and you throw it away. There's a guy coming rushing up on me upfield, keep giving ground, and I make the flat throw. If the flat's not there, he's on me, and I throw it out of bounds. If I can outflank, if I can get outside of the defense, then I go flat to over, back to flat, run. So, 1 minute. One last question?
As far as like a straight dive flash, you teach the quarterback to stop the feet, they fake, run through it.
Dive option?
Well, just like, yeah, back, flash to 21. Fake that, you teach them to stop the feet, and fake, or run through it.
21, like
turn it open, and then you're big there, and you stop the feet.
Oh, fake it to the back right there?
Yeah.
And then he's going to run a drop back play action pass? Well, the only thing we really stop our feet on is any kind of option, you know, that kind of thing. But most of the times, is it a 3-step drop you're running?
Yeah.
You're running a quick dive, so you got somebody there, you want to fake to him, and you're on a 3-step drop. Any kind of 3-step drop fake, really tell them to let the backs do the faking. You know, you can fake with your eyes, just a quick little jab, but you're in a 3-step timing route that you can't be late on, so you can't spend any time stopping your feet and then getting back. So a lot of times, if it's a 3-step drop, we're running like a slide protection with the fullback on the mic, the halfback on the Sam. Let the backs do the faking.